just contemplating change and the nature of change. Next to me here is a tree. It's in its state of winter clothed, not many leaves, but under the base of the tree we planted a casket 8 years ago, and in the casket beneath the tree are the ashes of my mother, who passed away here in 2008. And at the time we buried the ashes, and a little feather fell out of my pocket and went and lay on top of the casket, representing the lighter side, the spirit, the angels. And at the time of planting the tree, it was a small little tree. And a few years have gone by, and we look at the rate of growth in the tree, drawing on the nutriments of the ashes. And I was just posing the question, what separates us from planting the tree to where the tree is now? What separates us from putting the ashes in the ground to this magnificent tree growing out of the ground? It's something called time. And what is time? What is the nature of time? And what is real never changes. And it was the present moment when we put the ashes in the ground and planted the tree, and it's still the present moment. And in fact, presence has never changed. The essence of me that's witnessing this tree today is still the same essence that planted the tree. I've aged a few years since then, and I have a few more stories in my head, a few more experiences under the belt, but the real essence of who I am is exactly the same. It has never changed. And that essence doesn't have any real form. It's not located in any time and space. It transcends time and transcends space. It's the essence of life itself. And although life manifests in many different forms, the essence of life is always pure and very simple. And it is actually an emptiness within us and within everything that gives rise to the somethingness of experience, of the coming and going of life. Because even as this tree is very young today, it'll grow and experience many different changes in the environment, and one day it too will wither and die, and will go back to the dust out of which it arose. In time to come, no one will remember this tree, and no one will remember what this tree represents. But the essence of life will still be here. Presence will still be here. Life is the only thing that's stable. And we look at the tree and we can see the dead leaves on the tree, and that symbolizes the change in seasons. And I believe this year that we're going through is also very, very congruent with this season of winter, with the season of all that doesn't serve us passing away. The leaves have done their job in the previous summer, and they've collected the sun's energy and they fed it into the plant, into the tree. And now it's a time of change, and so the old leaves fall away so that new leaves, which can best carry life in its newness, will form in a few months' time, a few weeks' time in fact. As now it's July, and the leaves will probably come out in September, representing the ever-changing cycle of life, of the manifestation of life. And so it is with us. This body will come and this body will go, but the consciousness which looks through this body is always here and always present. And I know that the life that animated my mother's body, which was represented in the dust under the ground here, is still here, as magnificent as it always was, as magnificent as it was before it took on a body, and all the time it inhabited a body, and then the body left, and what was left was this life. And so I celebrate the ever-present love which we shared, even while we were in the separate physical form. And that gives a sacredness to this place and this moment. So I dedicate this to my mum Joan, and I thank her for playing the role of my mother and opening me up to so many of the vistas that I've visited in my life journey. Thank you, Mum. So this leaf is made of the same substance that my mother's body was made of. The nutriments have been taken up and are contained in this leaf. And this leaf too shall in turn return to the earth as dust and nurture new life. And it's not to mourn the passing, but to celebrate the new creative forms of life that manifest in each and every moment. It's always to acknowledge the life that underlies the form. That's really what's important.